Hello, my name is Lorena. Welcome back to my channel. I post every Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. Today's video is about how I dropped out of school and it completely changed my life. When I was in high school, I found that I didn't really understand the process of applying for colleges and truly grasping how big that decision was. I found myself gravitating towards what other friends were doing, which schools had the best weather, and the college towns were active and fun, instead of actually thinking about the academia and what I would be learning. So needless to say, when I did go to school, there was a lot of surprises along the way. I didn't realize how social life was important to a certain extent, but if you aren't actually learning, and which I felt a lot, it just seemed like all this money that I was putting into school was basically for nothing. I did go to classes and I did attend and did pretty well, but it wasn't really my main focus of being there at school. I felt like I had to make friends and have a social life and go out and party, and school was just the side effect of being there. When I came back from my second year, I had a lot of changes in my life, with friends leaving, not being friends with people anymore, whatever it may be. I felt very lost. I felt very different the second year around. In a new semester at school, depressed, barely leaving my room. I remember vividly just sitting on my couch and watching whatever was on TV just for hours. I did not have interest in meeting new people. Luckily, I had one flatmate who was very kind and kind of took me under her wing for a little bit, and she was the most socialization that I got in that semester. I wanted to be in school, but this particular place was not it for me. That decision really helped shift my perspective, because it wasn't something that I thought I could do. I thought that I would have to be there for 4 years. I would have to finish and get my diploma, because this was the one spot that I applied to. I got in, and I was initially really excited for this new chapter in my life. But things just didn't turn out the way that I thought they would. When I found myself in this sort of depression at school, I found that it probably was a big sign that it was time for me to pack up and leave. When I did make that decision, it came pretty quickly, and I didn't really think it through what my next months or when I would return to school would look like. But looking back, I think that helped me just make the decision and say, I am doing this. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will be okay. And for some reason, I did have this deep down feeling that I was going to be okay if I returned home. So luckily for me, my parents were planning a trip to Dominican Republic when I was coming back home for the winter time, and I was able to go along with them. I was there for about 10 or so days while everybody else was going back to school. I remember just feeling the pressure come in once everybody started going back to school. I was doing something completely different, and that was scary. At that point in time, I was around 19, 20 years old, and I figured that I was supposed to be doing what everybody else was around that time in my age. It was the first time that I made a decision that I felt was different from what everybody else was doing. I then visited some friends at their schools and got to experience their college life for a little bit of time, which was kind of cool. But in the back of my mind, again, I was thinking about how I was a bit jealous because I felt they knew what they were doing. They had a plan and I didn't. I was here just visiting, and they were there actually pursuing a career. With the help of some family and a family that I babysit for, I was able to gather myself and figure out how I was going to move to the city. I found a roommate, I found a place in a month span, and I was able to move in and start my life. I made a connection over the summer with someone who was working at a place in New York City, and they offered me to interview for an internship position. It ended up working out. I would go to community college, and then I would do my internship when I was free. I also picked up a lot of babysitting, and that was where I was making most of my money. It felt so nice to turn around my story and figure out that I could make these decisions that probably are frowned upon. Maybe people wouldn't accept it, but it worked best for me. Now looking back, I wouldn't want to change a thing because it taught me so much about myself, about the decisions I make, who I surround myself with. It all has helped build a foundation to who I am today. I understood the value of working hard and making sure that you were using your time wisely. It was the right decision, and staying there would have just affected me emotionally, mentally, in ways that I just cannot understand. I would be a completely different person. Getting a new perspective and understanding of life saved me. It feels great to be sitting here talking about this on a decision that I thought was going to ruin my life and make me into a nobody, whatever that means, to being really, really proud of myself. I hope you can relate, and I hope that if anybody else is going through something similar, I would just say make sure that you trust the voice that is telling you what's right or what's wrong for you. People will try to influence you, tell you that it's probably just something that you can get over, be happy, smile. But if you aren't happy, you're not happy. There are other options for you out there. There's not just a one path. You can figure it out along the way. So that is my video for this week. I make videos every single Wednesday, and I want you to tune in for the next video. So make sure that you subscribe, you click the like button, you comment below if you have ever been through something like this. Make sure you turn on those bell notifications, because that's the way that you can be one of the first to watch this video. And I'll be back next week with another video. See you then.